In the name of Allah, who is most beneficent and most merciful. I welcome you all in my class. This is your English class, and I am your subject teacher, Miss Fauzia Naz. Today I am going to start with lesson number 1 from the new course. This one is the responsibilities of youth. This one is a speech that Qaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah delivered at Dhaka University Convocation on 24th March 1948. This speech is recorded by Radio Pakistan, Dhaka. This is not the complete speech. This is an extract. Some paragraphs, some part of the speech, it has been included into your syllabus. This speech that Qaid-e-Azam had delivered is to the university students. Those who got their degrees, those who got their diplomas, those who got the success on that day, he addressed those students and he told them about their responsibilities. He told them about the past through which their predecessors had passed through, and he told them, tried to make them realize that they are the future generation and a lot of responsibility lies on their shoulders. Let's begin with the reading of the text. Along with this reading, I will explain the lines. Mr. Chancellor, ladies and gentlemen, when I was approached by the Vice Chancellor with a request to deliver the convocation address, I made it clear to him that there were so many calls on me that I could not possibly prepare a formal convocation address. As it was a formal occasion and it was the university where he had to deliver a formal address on an academic level with regard to the great subjects with which university deals with, such as arts, history, philosophy, science, law, and so on. So he was not ready to deliver such kind of a formal speech to the students, as he had been so busy in some other activities that he could not prepare such a formal speech. So he told this thing to the vice chancellor, to the chancellor, to the ladies and gentlemen, to the students who had been sitting in front of him. He told them that as he had been busy in the other activities, he had the other duties as well, so he could not prepare a formal speech. That is basically people they do on such occasions. So but I did, however, promise to say a few words to the students on this occasion, and it is the fulfillment of that promise that I will address you now. But as he had promised to the Vice Chancellor that he would come over there in the university and he would talk to the students, so he had fulfilled that promise and he had came to the universities, though he was not prepared to talk to them about the different subjects in which the different students they had got their diplomas and they had got their degrees. He was not ready for such kind of a formal speech, but he was ready to talk something or to tell something to the young people, to the students. First of all, let me thank the Vice Chancellor for the flattering terms in which he referred to me. So when he came on the stage, when he held the mic, then he first of all thanked to the Vice Chancellor the way he had praised him. It was not actually for the praise that he had done for him. It was actually that he wanted to tell him that there is nothing to praise about him, as it was his duty, as he was Muslim, and it was the duty of every Muslim to serve his people, to serve the people honestly and selflessly. So he fulfilled his duty actually, and that's why he said to the Vice Chancellor that there is nothing to flatter about him, there is nothing to talk about him. It was his duty, and that was the humbleness of Qaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, that he had not taken all the praise. He did not want the people to praise him, to flatter him, as he always think that it was his duty, and it was the duty of every Muslim to serve his people honestly and selflessly. So this was the humbleness of Qaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, and that's why he was a great leader. In addressing you, I am not here speaking to you as head of the state, but as friend, and one who has already held you in affection. So when Qaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah he began, and he started addressing to the students, he told them that don't take him as the head of the state, as the president of Pakistan, but he should be taken as a friend. And why it was so? Because he always loved the new generation. He always loved the young people. He loved the students. So he must not be taken as the head of the state. He must be taken as the friend. So many of you have today got your diplomas and degrees, and I congratulate you, just as you have won the laurels in your university and qualified yourself. So I wish you all success in wider and larger world that you will enter. So what he did, he congratulated the students first that they got their diplomas, they got their degrees, they had won the laurels, they had won the praise for the university, and they had qualified in that particular field, and all with all that congratulations, he also wished them to have a success into the world that is larger and wider, where they had to enter, where they had to enter as a professional. So he also actually wished them success into that professional, into that career. Many of you have come to the end of your scholastic career and stand at the threshold of life, unlike your predecessors who fortunately leave this university to enter life under a sovereign, independent state of your own. So, the first thing he tried to make them to emphasize actually is that they are different from their predecessors. जो उनके predecessors थे, जो उनके forefathers थे, जो उनके पेशवा थे, actually they are more fortunate than their predecessors because they got their degree in the free, independent, sovereign country that is their own. And he told them that after their scholastic career, after their educational period, they are going to enter into the practical life, they are going to enter into the threshold of life, right? They are at the gate of life where they had to enter if they have more vision and if they have more seriousness towards their career. These are the words which are difficult and the meanings are given over here. It is necessary that you and your other fellows students fully understand the implications of the revolutionary change that took place on the birth of Pakistan. So Qaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah he tried to make the students realize this thing that the birth of Pakistan is actually a revolutionary change. ये एक ऐसी इनकलाबी तब्दीली थी that nobody had been expecting in the world. So he wanted his students, he wanted the new generation to understand the implications of that revolutionary change, that what would happen after the Pakistan's birth. पाकिस्तान हैज़ केम इनटू एग्जिस्टेंस. अब उसके बाद जो है जो उसके असरात हैं, they have to understand it. As you people have broken the shackles of slavery, we are now a free people. कहते इससे पहले हम क्या थे? We have been treated as a slave. We had to broke those shackles of slavery, those chains of slavery. We had broken it, and we are now free people. Our state is our own state. Our government is our own government of the people, responsible to the people, the state, the working for the good of the state. So he tried to emphasize this thing that you people have your own state, you have your own government. So you are responsible to the people of the state and working for the good of the state. It is your duty now. Freedom, however, does not mean license. अब freedom का मतलब ये हरगिज़ भी नहीं है कि you got the license and with this license you are free to do anything. It does not mean that you can now behave just as you please and do what you like irrespective of the interests of the other people and of the state. So Qaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah he said that actually that birth of Pakistan was not easy. In order to make it appear on the world map, they had to break the shackles, the chains of slavery, and they have to get freedom actually from their masters So when they had broken those shackles of slavery, when the state has become free now, when the government has become free now, now the people, they are responsible to work for the state and to work for the betterment of the people. क्योंकि freedom हासिल करने का मतलब ये हरगिज़ भी नहीं है कि you got the license to live the life the way you want to. Actually freedom over here means that you are free to do anything for the welfare of the state and for the welfare of the people. A greater responsibility rests on you, and on the contrary, now more than ever, it is necessary for us to work as a united and disciplined nation. So he emphasized on this thing that now the responsibilities, it lies on their shoulder, and now they have to work more seriously for and unitedly and in a disciplined way in order to make their nation, in order to make their country to be successful. What are now required of us all is constructive spirit and not the militant spirit of the days when we were fighting for the freedom. So militant spirit क्या थे कि जब हम बहुत जज्बे के साथ we had been working for the freedom of the people, we had been working to break those shackles of slavery. कहते that was the militant spirit, and now as we had got the freedom, what we need to have is the constructive spirit. अब हमें क्या है, हमें progress करने की ज़रूरत है, हमें construct करने की ज़रूरत है. So it is far more difficult to construct than to have a militant spirit for the attainment of freedom. कहते हैं जब जज्बा होता है उस वक्त तो आपके लिए आसान होता है, easy to go to the jail and fight for the freedom than to run a government. जब आप एक दफ़ा ये जो militant spirit है, जब एक दफ़ा ये आपने इसके ज़रिए से आपने एक फ्रीडम हासिल कर ली है, तो उसके बाद एक गवर्नमेंट को चलाना, एक गवर्नमेंट को रन करना, that is much more difficult. Let me tell you something of the difficulties that we have overcome and of the dangers that still lie ahead. So after that, he wanted to tell to those young people, that is the future of Pakistan, that what they had achieved and what dangers they still lie ahead, जो अभी तक उनके दरपेश हैं. Thwart in their desire to prevent the establishment of Pakistan, our enemies turned their attention to finding ways and means to weaken and destroy us. Thwart means that they have been disappointed. They did not want that Pakistan it should came into existence. They were actually not in favor of the establishment of Pakistan. They had been disappointed in their desire. So now, against their desire, Pakistan had came into existence. It has been established. So our enemies, they now turn their attention in order to finding the ways and means to weaken us and to destroy us. ठीक है, जब दुश्मन इस हरबे में नाकाम हो गया कि पाकिस्तान जो है वो आखिरकार बन गया, तो फिर उनका दूसरा तरीका क्या था कि अब ये जो बने हुए पाकिस्तान को इस तरह कैसे भी किया जा सकता है, उसको कैसे डिस्ट्रॉय किया जा सकता है. Thus hardly had the new state come into being when came the Punjab and Delhi Holocaust. कहते कि अभी हार्डली ये नई स्टेट बनी थी जब पंजाब में और दिल्ली में जो है वो फसादात शुरू हो गए थे. Thousands of the men and women and children were mercilessly butchered and millions were uprooted from their homes. And over 50 lakhs of these arrived in the Punjab within a matter of weeks. So he told them that what happened in Punjab and Delhi. People, they had been murdered, they had been butchered, millions of the people, they had been uprooted from their homes. कि जैसे ही पाकिस्तान के बनने की ख़बर आई है तो पंजाब में, दिल्ली में फसादात शुरू हो गए और कितने हज़ारों आदमी, मर्द, औरतें, बच्चे जो हैं उनको बेरहमी के साथ उनको बुचर कर दिया गया, ज़िबा कर दिया गया, उनको मार दिया गया और उनको उनके घरों से बेघर कर दिया गया. और तकरीबन 50 लाख पीपल दे अराइव्ड इन द पंजाब विद the matter of weeks. The care and rehabilitation of these unfortunate refugees stricken in body and in soul presented problems which might well have destroyed many a well-established state. Definitely, when the people they had been uprooted from their homes, they have to shift from that place. When they came into Punjab, तो उनको rehabilitate करना, उनको reestablish करना, that was definitely very much difficult, because there were a lot of people who had to be reestablished, who had to be rehabilitated. And they were not only bad physically, but their spiritual spirits, they are also badly hurt. ठीक है वो what they had been expecting a very peaceful Pakistan, but in order to enjoy that freedom, they had to give many sacrifices. But those of our enemies who had hoped to kill Pakistan at its very inception by these means were disappointed. अब पाकिस्तान के बनने के साथ ही when Pakistan had the problem of the rehabilitation of so many unfortunate refugees, उनको जो है वो establish करना, that was a big task. And in the very beginning, when Pakistan came into existence, this task was too big, but Pakistan handled this task as well in a very brave manner. So that disappointed the enemies as well. Not only has Pakistan survived the shock of that upheaval, but it also emerged stronger, more chastened, and better equipped than ever. So पाकिस्तान जो है वो क्या हुआ कि भी इस शॉक से, इस जो अपहीवल है, जो जो डिस्ट्रक्शन थी, उससे पाकिस्तान हैज़ सर्वाइव्ड. And as because of this difficulty, because of these problems, Pakistan, when had been able to tackle such problems, Pakistan had become more stronger and better equipped than ever. There followed in rapid succession other difficulties, such as withholding by India of our cash balances. अब सिर्फ ये प्रॉब्लम नहीं था कि उन्होंने जो है वो बहुत से लोगों को बेघर कर दिया था, पाकिस्तान भेज दिया था, और जहाँ पे पाकिस्तान में इन लोगों को इस्टेब्लिश करना, इन लोगों को दोबारा से जो है वो रिहेबिलिटेट करना, दैट वाज अ बिग टास्क. पाकिस्तान ने क्या किया, पाकिस्तान के लोगों ने क्या किया, दे हैड ओवरकम दैट प्रॉब्लम. और वो अब इस अपहीवल से, इस दबाव से दे हैड कम आउट सक्सेसफुली. लेकिन इसके साथ साथ लगातार इन रैपिड सक्सेशन दूसरी डिफ़िकल्टीज़ भी जो हैं दे कम अक्रॉस. इसमें से सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम क्या था कि इंडिया ने आपका जो कैश बैलेंस था, जो कि डिवीज़न के बाद आपको मिलना था, उसको विदहोल्ड कर दिया, उसको रोक दिया. For share of military equipment, and lately the institution of an almost complete economic blockade of your province. I have no doubt that all right-thinking men in the Indian Dominion deplore these happenings, and I am sure the attitude of the mind that has been responsible for them will change. But it is essential that you should take note of these developments. They stress the importance of continued vigilance on our part. सो कायद अज़म मोहम्मद अली जिन्ना क्या कह रहे हैं, कहते हैं कि भी इसमें कोई जो है वो डाउट नहीं है कि भी द हाउ दे हैड हिंडर्ड आर वे टुवर्ड्स द एस्टैब्लिशमेंट. But what we have to do, we have to remain vigilant on our part to see the problems that our enemies they have been arising for us. The way they had done, उन्होंने withhold कर दिया हमारे कैश बैलेंसेस को. उन्होंने जो है हमारी जो इस जो बंगाल है उसके इस प्रोविंस की इकोनॉमिक जो है वो प्रोग्रेस को टोटली उसको ब्लॉकेट कर दिया. So what he suggests to the people, what he suggests to the youth of Pakistan, that they had to remain vigilant. उनको बहुत ज़्यादा केयरफुल रहना है to see जो भी जो दुश्मन की चालें हैं उनके ऊपर उनकी नज़र होनी चाहिए. So that is all for today, students. It's still few part of the speech is still left. It will be continued with the next lecture. Thank you very much for today.